If you or a loved one are struggling with type 2 diabetes, you should visit the link in the description below. This clinically proven, drug-free program lowers blood sugar to a normal level and can completely reverse type 2 diabetes within just a few weeks. Here's today's video.
The question, why is type 2 diabetes incurable? Answer by Silent Sir. When you see people say type 2 diabetes is incurable, what they really mean is that hardly anyone is immune to getting it, under the right set of circumstances. However, it is possible to reverse hyperglycemia as well as insulin resistance, which are the two main hallmarks of the disease. Despite extensive research seeking a genetic cause for type 2 diabetes, there has never been a causal genetic link for type 2 diabetes established. Type 2 diabetes is only genetic in the same sense that HIV is genetic. Much like there are people who can be exposed to the HIV virus and never contract it, there are people who can eat all the carbs they want and never develop type 2 diabetes. This doesn't mean the people who do contract HIV when exposed to it have some sort of genetic defect or combination of defective genes. Likewise, people who ingest too many carbs don't have some genetic predisposition to carb intolerance either, simply because there are people who can eat carbs with reckless abandon. A recent study has established that insulin resistance actually occurs in everyone after eating junk food. Not only that, but separate studies have shown when all variables are the same for type 2 diabetics and non-diabetics that it's actually no harder for type 2 diabetics to lose weight than it is for anyone else, non-diabetics. People who believe type 2 diabetes is genetic and incurable due to some vague combination of genetic mutations, usually believe this because there is no guaranteed immunity from reacquiring type 2 diabetes, if you've had it and reversed it before. Clearly, the solution to this is to simply not go to the doctor to be diagnosed in the first place. If you're overweight and you have symptoms of type 2 diabetes, doctors are nearly useless in curing or eliminating type 2 diabetes, as the only thing that will truly reverse type 2 diabetes is the patient working to change their diet and exercise routine. Doctors are only able to diagnose/brand you as a type 2 diabetic for the rest of your life, and prescribe expensive drugs to artificially lower your blood sugar and mask the symptoms of insulin resistance. But they don't fix anything, nor do those drugs prevent complications. So there is really no incentive to include a doctor in the diagnosis nor the treatment of type 2 diabetes, unless you want to be branded for the rest of your life with a disease label that could very easily just be reversed within a few months of changing your lifestyle. But whatever you do not go to the doctor to get branded as a diabetic forever, because once you have been branded, you will never shake that label, no matter how healthy and symptom-free you become. You can become healthier than most non-diabetics, but after you've been branded with type 2 diabetes, you will forever be referred to as diseased and will be told you must remain paranoid about losing all your limbs and eyesight. Point being, the diagnosis simply isn't worth a lifelong headache if you know you're overweight with diabetic symptoms, especially when you can simply change your lifestyle and avoid being branded, and go on about your life as a regular healthy person. Again, if you are overweight with symptoms of type 2 diabetes, do not go to the doctor for a diagnosis, especially if you're relatively young. Just buy a glucose meter and test strips to monitor your blood sugar at home and change your lifestyle. Remember, the drugs that doctors prescribe only mask symptoms and artificially make your blood glucose numbers look good, but they don't solve the problem, and they don't prevent complications, and you will be much happier than if you go and get branded with a disease for the rest of your life. Answer by George Van Winkle. Type 2 diabetes is the result of A. Damage to the islets of Langerhans cells in the pancreas, making it incapable of producing enough insulin for the body's needs, and or B. Insulin resistance, where your body's immune system blocks the cells of the body from using some of the insulin the pancreas is still making. Research is currently being conducted using stem cells to try to replace the damaged cells in the pancreas, but any possible use of that research is many years away. Even that will not cure diabetes if insulin resistance is in the mix. Current treatments include medications to help the body make better use of the insulin it produces and insulin to replace what the body isn't making. Since it's not feasible to completely shut down the immune system and it can't be redirected from producing antibodies to block use of insulin, the insulin resistance component of type 2 diabetes cannot be cured. However, it is possible to take actions to help control your diabetes. First, follow your doctor's recommendations. Next, test your blood glucose multiple times per day so that you can make sure to keep it in a healthy range. If you are overweight, work with your doctor to get it down to what she/he feels is appropriate for your height, age, and build. The less extra fat you carry, the fewer cells compete for the insulin you are still producing. Get plenty of exercise to burn the carbohydrates you are consuming and to keep your cardiovascular system healthy. Get plenty of sleep so that your body can repair itself from the wear and tear of daily living. Most important, don't expect good medical advice from a forum like this. Diabetes is not a social media thing. It is a serious medical condition, so you should always ask these questions of your doctor. The advice you get here may be sound medical advice, but it may also be well-intended crackpot pseudoscience, outright misdirection, or even harmful snake oil salesmen like I see on here posting questions so that they can peddle their black seed oil or whatever scam they're pushing today. Answer by Jagalki. Great question. I thought like you once, because my doctor said it was chronic, progressive, and incurable. The simple answer is that type 2 diabetes is curable, but not with today's drugs, which are intended to only control or manage, not cure. There is a completely natural way to reverse and cure type 2 diabetes, and it doesn't require you to be rich. You may want to visit Diabetes Free by Nature, the natural way to cure diabetes, and learn how to go about reversing your type 2.